Hey everyone, today we're going to do a little bit of chemistry when it comes to your digestive system. So we're going to have macromolecules, enzymes, and metabolism. All right, a lot of what I'm going to teach you today, you should have learned in either freshman bio or AP bio. I'd like to first start off with molecular sizes. A monomer is a subunit of a larger molecule. It's a building block. And a polymer is a larger molecule composed of monomers. If we were to say that what I'm drawing here is a Gasparilla necklace, the entire necklace would be considered which of those two terms? That's a polymer. What are the individual beads then? Monomers. That's right. What do you suppose that your digestive system is attempting to do? Make polymers out of monomers or break down polymers into monomers? You want to break down those big giant polymers into tiny little monomers. That is your digestive system's job. Now, to give you an understanding of how both of these are made or broken down, we need to get into metabolism. Some of you may say, I have a really fast metabolism. I could eat a bunch of junk food and I'll still lose weight. Like Tyler could probably eat every item on the menu at McDonald's and he'll still be able to run a mile faster than any of us. He's out there running on a base shore every day. His body is accustomed to taking the food that he eats and turning it into energy really quickly. On the other hand, if you're going to be like Tyler in maybe 20 years and Tyler goes home and watches SpongeBob after work every day and his body just kind of gets lazy and tired and not really used to converting energy or food into energy, we tend to say we have a slow metabolism. So metabolism in general is basically using resources to generate energy. And there's two types of metabolisms. We have anabolism and catabolism. And I'm going to teach you how I remember one from the other when I was a student like you all. What famous wrestler, former wrestler, grew up in Tampa and actually went to Robson High, brother? Not The Rock. The Rock grew up in, I think, like maybe Miami. Dave Bautista did not grow up here. He lives here. He did not grow up here. Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan, you know, yellow and red colors, big mustache. He always has the bandana. He's like, what you gonna do, brother? Well, back in the 1980s, he allegedly, as well as other wrestlers and the owner of wrestling at that time, used anabolic steroids. Anabolic. Now, Noah, I'm sure you've watched a wrestling match or two in your day. Noah, why would grown men who are wrestlers take extra supplements of testosterone, aka steroids, given their profession and lifestyle? Not so much energized. Energy is something testosterone gets you, but think about it. They're professional wrestlers out on TV in the middle of crowds, practically naked, demonstrating their strength. Sam? Bigger. Testosterone, no, there's a reason why males are typically larger than females. Testosterone builds muscle. Now, do you think if you were taking anabolic steroids, are you going from small to big or big to small? Small to big. So anabolism is bonding monomers to form polymers. So this is going to be small to big. Just think of wrestlers back in the 70s and 80s. There was a lot of rumors of anabolic steroid use because they want to build themselves up to look big. So catabolism is going to be the opposite. The breaking down of polymers into monomers. This is going to be from big to small. Which of these two forms of metabolism is your digestive system responsible for? Catabolism or anabolism? Catabolism is exactly right. Catabolism is what your digestive system does. However, Noah, you're on the basketball team. Do the coaches make you work out in the weight room? I bet they do. You still need to have some muscle when you're playing basketball, even though it's not technically supposed to be a contact sport. You make contact. Well, check this out. Noah works out really, really hard with the basketball team. And when you work out, you damage your muscles. The hope is you can make your muscles heal to be bigger and better than they were before. So after working out, Noah goes home. He has 2 chicken breasts. He has some brown rice. He has a tall glass of milk. He has a bunch of vegetables. Those are the types of foods that can actually make your muscles bigger. But when Noah eats all that food, he's breaking that food down and down and down and down into their monomers. What happens then? Once you get that food down into its monomer level, which is the lowest level, it will diffuse into the bloodstream. And this is where the magic happens. It will, all those nutrients, those minerals, those proteins and lipids and carbs that Noah has eaten will circulate through his entire body, head to toe, and more specifically to the muscles he was working out. And it's going to give those muscles fuel and energy and mass to hopefully be bigger than and stronger than they were before. Now, his digestive system is responsible for catabolism. But when all those little monomers are assembling in his biceps and his triceps and his quads and his hamstrings and his pecs and all that stuff, what is it doing there? It's building up. So you literally are what you eat. If you're eating good food, it's going to help build you up. And so no, when you're eating all that good food after a workout, it's going to circulate through your body. It's going to go through your bloodstream. It's going to go to all your sore muscles and help to get them healing bigger and better than they were before. That is anabolism. And so when we are eating, the first thing that you do is you catabolize the food. That's your digestive system. And then your other systems will anabolize it. It will build up. You break down and then you build up. That's how it works with us. Now, the next thing I'd like to go over with you all is how that actually happens. And there's 2 terms here that I know if you were in my class, you've definitely heard of before: dehydration synthesis and hydrolysis. When you're a freshman in biology and you're learning this stuff, you just think it's another thing that you have to know for the test. Well, this is actually how it's working in your body. Like, this is how you digest food. And this is how you build up those molecules in the rest of your body, your muscle, your organs, your tissues. Dehydration synthesis is the formation of bonds between monomers by removing what molecule? Water. H2O. And it's important to know that water is H2O for what I am about to show you. Now, if you are building up molecules, you're forming bonds between monomers. You're building up. Is this catabolism or is this anabolism? This is anabolism. And then the opposite is going to be hydrolysis. This is the breaking of bonds. Breaking of bonds in a polymer to establish the monomers by adding water. In case you didn't know, when you are dehydrating, are you adding water or are you removing water? Pretty easy. This is removal of H2O. I mean, look at the word, dehydrate. When you're dehydrated, you don't have water. And then, do any of you know what the term synthesis means? To build. That's pretty simple. This means to build. On the other hand, take a look at hydrolysis. Hydro. What does hydro refer to? Water. For those of you that I know we did this in AP Bio. What does lysis mean? Splitting. You're splitting the molecules apart by using water. Hydrolysis, glycolysis. All right, if you're breaking down big molecules into smaller molecules, this is going to be catabolism. So I have to show you how this actually happens. I'm going to put two individual molecules here. All right, so this is monomer A. Yeah, this is monomer B. I have two separate monomers, two individual building blocks. It's like having two individual Legos, and they will be able to snap together. But I want to show you how this is done. This is the biochemistry of this entire unit. This is where you really get down into the most basic aspects. I want to connect these two. If I connect two monomers, what do I form? I form a polymer. That's right. Well, for those of you that have taken chemistry, what element is H? That's hydrogen. And the other one is a polyatomic ion called OH. What is OH called? Do you recall? Hydroxide. If you have H plus OH, what do you get? H2O. H plus OH yields H2O. So here's what you do. You remove OH from one side and H from the other. So effectively, you have removed water. Water has been taken away. You have dehydrated it. And now that you have removed water, a bond can form between them. You have now formed a polymer. This is dehydration synthesis. This is how you take smaller subunits and make big molecules. This happens in your muscles. This happens in your bones. Does this happen in your digestive system? Do you want to make big molecules in your digestive system? No. So let me tell you what happens in your digestive system. Let's say that you were to eat this polymer. You consume it, swallow it, goes in your stomach and your intestines. Your enzymes hydrolyze it. You add water. And so what happens is you introduce OH here, and you introduce H here, the bond breaks, and it reconnects with those original ions. And so now I have two individual monomers again. That is hydrolysis. You are splitting, hydrolysis, water splitting. Water splits the two molecules apart. That is what your digestive system does. Are there any questions about dehydration synthesis or hydrolysis? All right. Now, the other part that you've likely seen from your bio classes in the past are the 4 macromolecules. molecules. In AP Bio, it's one of the first things you learn. Someone not named Chris and Isabella and Scout and Grace and Sam and Hannah. What are the 4 macromolecules in pretty much everybody's diet? Tell me one at a time. No, Grace, you're in AP Bio. You're not allowed. What? I'll do you one better. Amino acids build protein. Protein is one. It's another. Lipids, which are also fats. Okay, 2 down, 2 to go. Carbohydrates. One more. Amino acids build protein. Nucleic acids. That's it. These are macromolecules that you need in your diet. You need them. When you eat, typically when you eat meat, you eat nuts, some veggies, you get protein. When you have milk and cheese and red meat, butter, you eat fat, you eat lipids. When you have bread and fruits and vegetables and sugar, those are carbs. And also, nucleic acids are DNA. When you eat animals, when you have bird meat, cow meat, pig meat, crab meat, fish meat, whatever the animal is, do those animals have DNA? Yeah, you're eating their DNA. That's their nucleic acids. It's not just animals too. If you like mushrooms on your pizza, if you like lettuce, green peppers, onions, tomatoes, potatoes, are all those plants? Yeah. Do plants have DNA? Yeah, they're organisms. So you actually eat nucleic acids too. What I'd like to go over with you for the rest of class today are the monomers and polymers of these 4 macromolecules. So let's do carbohydrates first. This is going to be the biggest one. What are the monomers of carbohydrates? What are they called? Monosaccharides. Ring a bell? How do you know there's only one molecule in a monosaccharide? Mono means one. Do you recall what the 3 monosaccharides you typically have to learn in a biology class are? Glucose is one. Probably the most important. No, not sucrose. No. Fructose and galactose. All right, yes or no? These are monomers. Are they small enough to diffuse from your intestine to your blood? Yes, they are. They are small enough. Your digestive system's job, partially, is to get carbohydrates down to that size, the smallest of the small. Now, what do you call 2 monosaccharides that are bonded together by dehydration synthesis? Disaccharides. How do you know there's 2 molecules in a disaccharide? Di means double. The 3 disaccharides you typically have to know in a biology class are sucrose, maltose, and lactose. If you really want to impress me, 1 + 1 = 2. What 2 monosaccharides bond together to form each of these 3 disaccharides? Do you know what 2 monosaccharides have to bond together to form sucrose? It is glucose and fructose. We'll abbreviate it, GLU and FRU. What 2 monosaccharides bond together to form maltose, which you'll be hearing a lot the next couple days? It's glucose and glucose, 2 glucoses. And then what 2 monosaccharides bond together to form lactose? Glucose and galactose. The ones I'm going to tell you all that you really need to know for this course will be this one. We're going to talk about this one the next couple of days. Okay. And lastly, what do you call the really, 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 really big carbohydrates? Polysaccharides. How many molecules are in a polysaccharide? just many. There's really not a solid number, hundreds or thousands. Now, if you were in my AP Bio class, I would tell you that you have to know 5. For our purposes, you just need to know 3. First one is called amylose. Really important for you to know for this class. It's also called starch. You have cellulose, and you have glycogen. Starch is typically found in the roots of plants. What are some vegetables that are roots and they're very, very, very heavy in sugar, which is carbs? Carrots and potatoes, French fries, chips, anything with potatoes has a lot of sugar in it. Complex carbohydrates. So they're found in plant roots. For you bio nerds, where do you find cellulose? Cell walls of plants. Can our body chemically digest that? Nope. So if you eat a piece of corn, are you going to see it on the other side? Yeah, if you don't chew it, you will. And then glycogen, let me get this one in, is in animal muscles. We'll have to stop there. We'll continue this lesson in the next class. We'll finish off with lipids, proteins, and nucleic acids.